In the last part, Gotenks battles Frieza and unveils his biggest flaw of his revenge, and that is the mastery of his golden form. After defeating Frieza, the gang went back to their normal life until Champa decided to take Earth for his own, with the tournament nixed from beginning. In this part, we go into the tournament of destroyers. So let's continue. The first of fights is of course Goku and he's fighting against Potamo. Potamo proves to be a bit of a challenge due to his size, but nothing Goku can't figure out really, as Goku simply throws him out of the ring. Next up is Frost, and he doesn't seem much of a challenge and Goku fights him as he normally would, even getting poisoned like in the original. Next one against him is Gohan, and sees that Frost did something to his dad and is on guard, looking for anything that might spark that sudden defeat. So he observes how Frost fights and his techniques while dodging, but can't find anything and blames it on his father's carelessness. So he continues with the battle normally. Frost is trying his best against Gohan, but Gohan is just too much for him with his mystic. Gohan though still has fun with Frost until he suffers the same fate as his father. Gohan gets poisoned and gets dizzy but not down as he blindly attacks Frost by doing an upwards kick and pushing Frost away with his ki. Gohan slowly gets back to his senses and notices he has been punctured and calls Frost out for cheating. The referee looks at Gohan's right elbow and sees that there is indeed an entry wound the size of a needle, and Jocko forces the referee to search Frost's body. The referee looks and finds what he's been looking at and calls Frost disqualified, despite Frost's best efforts to keep himself in the battle. Gohan prevails and goes up against Megetta, who is quite powerful in his own way. Champa requests for a boundary box and Beerus accepts, but Gohan is on high alert as he knows Megetta too has some kind of gimmick as well, and so gets to work figuring out what that gimmick is. Megetta uses quite a handful of range attacks, and Gohan thinks that those attacks are why the boundary was created. So he uses his quick thinking to go and apply some close range attacks on Megetta. However, those seem to prove nothing. So he's left with energy attacks, which he throws and they make a dent. So he starts planting small energy mines around Megetta and conveniently, provocatively tells Megetta that he will send him back to a landfill with the next attack. That line sets Megetta off and he gets emotional, crumbling down into a fetus position right on one of those mines as it sets off and blows up, sending Megetta into the boundary wall, eliminating him from the tournament. Goku is now conveniently back because of Frost's cheating and is watching on the fight, proud of his son. As the father and son give each other a thumbs up, the new matchup is in the ring, that being Kaaba. Kaaba knows that his power is nothing, but tries to inquire on the blonde hair transformation before the match begins. Gohan explains that it's a Super Saiyan transformation and asks Kaaba if he has it. Kaaba says he does not have the ability to transform, but knows vague information about it and asks if he can be taught. Gohan sees Kaaba as a good guy, but doesn't really know how to teach him. The match begins and Kaaba is faring pretty good against Gohan, even in his base, and he impresses Gohan. But Gohan is still thinking about Kaaba not knowing how to transform, and that is annoying him that he will have to knock out a new Saiyan in an instant. They come to a standstill and Kaaba compliments Gohan, but Vegeta yells how Kaaba is a weakling not worthy of being a Saiyan. That sparks an idea in Gohan's head, as he elaborates to Kaaba how all of the Saiyans from his universe would be disappointed and that he was just playing with him. Kaaba is apologetic about it, but Gohan gets an idea and Vegeta fights himself for a second, throwing a punch and berating Kaaba, telling him if he wants to stay a weakling, then he will pay the ultimate price. Gohan knows what kind of ruthlessness Vegeta had back then, so he tries to emulate it by knocking Kaaba down to the ground and threatening to blow up his planet since he didn't find a good match in this tournament. Kaaba reminisces his memories, and that's all it took to get Kaaba to the edge of transforming, as he does his first successful transformation and attacks Gohan. Gohan sees that he has powered up, but is wondering about his control, so he dials down the tough guy act and tries to get Kaaba to calm down, but he wouldn't. Gohan, not knowing what to do, knocks Kaaba out and tells Champa that he has taught Kaaba how to transform and to thank him about it. Champa is prideful, but Beerus is angry and impressed at Goku's son. Gohan then gets out of the ring to talk to his dad, because he's having a weird feeling about his next and final opponent. Goku says to gauge him and to be careful. Gohan gets back and Hit is waiting on him. Gohan is paying attention to Hit's fighting stance and sees that it's quite unique. The Saiyan gets ready, trying to see all the critical points, but Hit's menacing look is quite distracting. Either way, Gohan goes for an offense. However, Hit uses time skip to hit Gohan's liver and cripple him to the ground. Gohan has no idea what just happened or how did he attack so fast. He can't tell that he's not so powerful, so he blames some sort of technique. He remembers Goldo and his ability to pause time at any time he breathes, so he looks for Hit's breaths. However, that is inconclusive, as Hit starts packing Gohan to the ground. Gohan gets down to the ground again and starts thinking if he's just really fast. So, Gohan starts powering up and transforming. The aura is intense and Gohan screams as he transforms into his beast mode. That interests everyone present, including the Universe 6 fighters. Gohan has unlocked a new form only applicable to his mystic past and goes for an assault and manages to catch some of the Hit's attacks and attack him back. But the lack of knowledge about time skip gets Gohan in a tight spot once again, as he gets a hard jab from Hit and Gohan collapses. Gohan gets back up and tries again, but he gets hit multiple times and collapses down to the ground and out of his beast form. Gohan though still doesn't want to quit, as he gets right back up and attacks Hit in his base. Hit is dodging, wanting to see the drive of the Saiyans, but it is in vain on Gohan's end, as he gets simply knocked out and eliminated. Goku is next, now being back in the tournament, and his end goes relatively the same as in canon, except that because he watched more of Gohan's fight, he figured out how to counter the time skip, and so he gets into battle and enters Super Saiyan Blue right away to fight Hit. The whole Kaioken ordeal goes on, and Goku forfeits the match to prevent Beerus and Champa from destroying everything. Beerus is mad at Goku now, but puts his faith in the kids, since they can't plan out their attacks. Goku on the other hand has a better idea, and that is to let the two fuse against Hit. Goten and Trunks did not expect that, but decide it's a good idea, so the two fuse into Gotenks and get into the ring, with Champa getting seriously worried because it's their last fighter versus his. The battle begins and Gotenks goes Super Saiyan Blue and immediately gets on the same level as Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and goes for an offense. Gotenks knows of the time skip and spares no niceties with Hit, as he battles Hit with all of his might. Hit is having a bit of difficulty, but decides to power up his time skip to a whole 2 seconds to surpass Gotenks by a long shot, and Gotenks is in a pickle, as he's being thrown around. Gotenks is getting desperate and tries his best to power up all the way and use every single attack he can muster up, but to no avail. Hit just has too much power behind his time skip. However though, he takes a page out of Goku's book and goes for predictions and his instinct. Going back to Whis' words of how their bodies have to think on their own, he lets his body do the work, dodging the 2-second skip and, while flaring his aura, entering an unknown state with a royal blue aura and kicking Hit in the liver, making Hit pass out on the ground. Gotenks powers down and comments how everyone likes going for liver hits and that it's annoying. In either case, Gotenks won the fight by a knockout and is considered the victor of his universe. The Z fighters start celebrating, however Zeno appears and the whole Goku ordeal appears. However, this time Gotenks also chimes in and flexes his win to Zeno. Both Goku and Gotenks are liked by Zeno, and so Zeno leaves just seconds before Gotenks unfuses. We're continuing the series next time. While you wait for the next part, join the T23 Discord server with the vanity URL down in the description. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.